everyone, good day to you all. In this video, we are going to discuss on classifications of buying motives. So here there are few classifications. They are classified into two. Now first one we'll discuss in this video, that is product buying motives. Now what is product buying motives? The product buying motives is nothing but those influences and reasons which prompt a buyer to choose a particular product in a reference or preference to other product. So here the product buying motive, when consumer buys a product, is either emotional or sometimes it will be rational. So here the product buying motives are classified into two. As I already explained about emotional and rational. So now we will discuss first one, emotional buying motives. So now what is emotional buying motives? Now here emotional buying motives is nothing but a buyer decides to purchase a product without thinking over the matter carefully. Now it is nothing but here the consumer will not think or carefully or will not discuss or will not take any prompt decisions. Just for sake he will consume certain goods and services. So here there are a few points under the emotional buying motives. They are, first one, pride, or it is also called as prestige. For the purpose of pride or for the purpose of prestige, consumer consume the goods and services. He will not think logically here, but for the purpose of prestige. Now for example, if I buy the gold or jewel or diamond and wear and go to the society, people will see at me that then the consumer get the emotional satisfaction, saying or looking by the society, by the people wearing diamond, wearing gold. Okay, that will give the emotional satisfaction to the consumer. That means prestige or for the purpose of status. Next one, emulsion, or it is also called as imitating. Okay, the people will get satisfied by imitating others. Now there is no logic, but just for the happiness, for the purpose of satisfaction, consumer will consume the goods and services. For example, the women, they purchase the goods and services. For example, now husband buy a sari for a woman because his woman said that the neighborhood woman has purchased same sari. I do want that same sari. So because of this reason, husband buy and gives a silk sari or a good sari to his wife because his wife wanted that sari. So there is an emotional attachment towards his wife. Next comes affection. Now love, attraction or affection towards the people. Sometimes what happens when the children wants certain goods and services, because of the affection to the children, parents purchase and gives certain goods and services. That is called as emotional attachment towards the children, or husband to wife, friends to friends. Okay, these all the kind of affection. Because of the affection, there is no certain careful or the thinking about the goods and services. Just for affection towards others, they will consume the goods and services. Comfort. Now here comfort is nothing but what? Sometimes consumer wants to feel comfort. Okay, that is why they will consume the goods and services. Now especially at present world, people wants to be in comfort level. They want to feel comfortable or they want to feel flexible. Okay, that is why they want to consume the goods and services. Now for example, refrigerator, or for example washing machine, gas stove, all these makes people more comfortable, work because most of us now we work and come to houses. Evening we will come, we do not get much time to prepare for the food or for the dinner. That is why we want this makes us to cook or to prepare the food immediately, so we can have a comfort life. Next one is attraction. Now here, when one person is attracted to other person, usually they will consume the goods and services. It is an emotional attachment. Okay, one boy attracted towards female, then definitely for that attraction purpose they will consume the goods. Then they will not think about the price of the goods and services. Just for the purpose of attraction they will consume the goods and services. There is no logic or behind what is the price of the product or nothing like that, but just for the attraction, to satisfy my partner, the person will consume the goods and services. Next one is ambition, certain goal. So sometime what happens, to achieve a goal, consumer will consume the goods and services. For example, the person, if he cannot go for the regular classes, but he is having the ambition, so at least he can do the education through the distance education or correspondent course. Next one is individuality. Sometime what happens, people do not want to copy others, they want to live themselves individual. They do not want possess. That means every consumer sometimes think about that I want to be separate. So because of that they will consume the goods and services. That is emotional satisfaction towards the consumer. They do not want to copy, or they do not want to wear same dress or same good which other people has. So that is why they will consume, where they can get the emotional satisfaction, and it is kind of attitude towards the consumer. Next one is recreation. Okay, so here recreation is nothing but kind of pleasure. Sometimes consumer wants to get pleasure. Because of the pleasure, consumer will consume the goods and services just for the recreation. Or what we can say now, for example, some consumers or some people are there, they are interested towards the music, they are interested towards to purchase the instruments, musical instruments, because they want to play. So that is why they will consume those goods and services. Next is hunger and thirst. Now sometimes we feel hunger, we feel thirst, we will consume the goods and services. We consume different types of items for food and for the purpose to buy the thirst. Different varieties of brands we will consume. We don't see the prices. If we like that, we will consume without much thinking, because we get emotional satisfaction in that product. Next is habit. Sometimes consumer has a habit of consuming certain particular goods and services, whether they are good for the health, whether the prices are high, they are not bothered at all. Just they want to consume those goods and services. So that is why they will consume. For example, those who are toxicants, now cigarette, smoking or drinking alcohol, these are the habits. So they want to satisfy emotionally themselves. That is why they will consume the goods and services. Now second one under product buying motives are rational buying behavior. Now rational buying behavior, sometimes consumers are rational in their behavior. So rational buying behavior is nothing but consumer thinks logically, carefully. They will go behind the logic, whether there is a logic by consuming these goods and services. Otherwise they will not consume those goods and services. They see the logic. Okay. Now what are those types? Now safety. Now consumer wants the safety or security. Now for example, if they have gold or the cash, they cannot keep it in the houses because of the fear of robbery. So they can keep the gold, excess of gold or the cash, they will keep it in the banks or lockers. So for that they pay, because if they pay for that also locker facility, that means they get the safety, they get the security, they get those products back. Whenever they want, they get it back. So for that they are ready to spend. That is called as logic or rational behavior. Or for the purpose of health, they will pay the premium for the health insurances. So that is also come under this safety and security. Second is economy. Now Economy is nothing but now consumer wants to uh, spend money for those goods which gives you more satisfaction by. That means the consumer, for example, if he wants to purchase one vehicle, he thinks logically and he purchases those vehicle which gives more mileage. Okay, it is economy. It will reduce the prices, okay, or can save the money in future days. Next one is relatively low prices. The goods which are relatively low, the consumer will consume those goods. So why simply we should spend money for this product? Why simply spend money for that product? So that is not necessary. Why simply we have to pay more? So that is why, like that, consumer will think and they will pay less for those goods and services. Next one is the suitability. Now what do you mean by suitability? Now if the house is built, okay, accordingly they will consume or they will purchase the furnitures for the houses which is suitable to the house. Now if a dining table is for 20 by 20, they cannot consume then 20 by 30 because it will not adjust there, it will not suit there. So accordingly such goods and services they have to consume. So they will think logically. If the 5 members are at home, they can have one car. Okay, if there are only 2 people, the logic thinking 2 people for 2-wheeler is insufficient. So that is called as suitability. Now next one is versatility. Versatility is nothing but kind of utility. Sometimes consumer will consume the goods and services which can be used for more than one term. That means the product which can be used for many things. It is not for used for only one thing. The product which can be used for many other things. So that is called as versatility. Next one is durability. The consumer will consume the goods and services for the long period. Such goods and services they will consume. Now for example, wooden cot. Okay, they will get it at, the wooden cot they will get at lower price. Okay, but the durability of the product they have to see. If the durability of product is long, then even for the more money they can pay. They are ready to pay. Consumer is ready to pay because it will get for the longer period of time. Now next one is convenience. So consumer always consume the goods and services based on their convenience. Now for example, if the gas stove is there, it gives a pleasure or gives a convenience to the consumer to cook the product or cook the food. So that is why the consumer purchase those goods which is convenient towards to the consumer. So these are the 2 types or 2 classifications under the product buying motives, emotional and rational. Where emotional, consumer will not think logically, just for the emotional feelings, inner feelings, they will consume the goods and services for others. And second one is the rational product buying motives, where the consumer thinks logically, carefully and consume the goods and services. Thank you.